This is not going to be like the other YouTube videos you're going to come across. It's going to teach you how to start an online business and then share with you the top 3 online businesses and then basically pitch you their course. Usually if somebody's teaching Shopify, they're going to sell you a Shopify course, or if they're teaching affiliate marketing, they're probably going to sell you their affiliate marketing course. Now, I'm even guilty of this myself. However, in this video, we're going to take an unbiased look at 5 online businesses you can start, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons of each. But the most important thing you need to consider when starting an online business is if the business model you're picking even aligns with your personality and your goals. I get it, with everybody flexing their Lambo, their travel, their lifestyle, and how much money they make, it's very easy to get caught up in the trap of just chasing money and trying to achieve those same results yourself. However, what I can guarantee you is that any successful entrepreneur you see that has the results that you want, they did not get there by just chasing money. They started by picking a business model that was right for them, and what they actually did is commit to learn and master the skills necessary to create the results you see they have now, which makes them look like an overnight success story. Now, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Zach Crawford, and if you get value from this video, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification so you get notified when I drop new videos. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each business model step by step. We're going to talk about both the pros and cons of each business, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how to pick the right business for your individual personality type as well as your goals. Alright, so the first online business that you can start making money with is becoming a coach and consultant. Now, this is a great business to start if you already have some experience or expertise that people desire to learn. Now, this business model could be perfect for you if you're the type of person who wants time freedom, financial freedom, and maybe even location freedom, like you want to be able to travel the world. What's great about this business model is you get to leverage your time but make big amounts of money while doing it. So you could go out there and, let's say, teach Facebook ads to a group of people and answer their questions and help them out instead of actually doing one-to-one or actually doing the service for them. Alright, so let's talk about the pros to coaching consulting. So number 1 is you can earn a lot of money for the time that you actually invest with working with people. Now, if you run a group coaching program, it's very scalable, so you don't really have a threshold on your income or what you can make. It's also drastically less work than offering a done-for-you service or working one-to-one. Now, the cons to coaching consulting, as always, no matter what business model you go into, there's going to be both pros and cons. So you need prior knowledge or experience to pull this off. It's going to be pretty tough if you have no knowledge into, the niche that you're going into. You also, in order to be successful, you're going to need to know how to market yourself. Like, this is a very competitive industry, so if you don't know how to market or you don't enjoy sales, it's going to be pretty tough. Now, you also need to set some type of boundaries of what you will and won't do for money. What I can tell you is some clients can be headaches, and if you don't set ground rules, it can be a pain in the butt. Now, the other thing is it's not scalable. So if you choose to work one-to-one, it's going to be very limited based on your time and the energy you can put into, and you'll be capped on your income. Now, personally, I think coaching consulting is an excellent industry to get into. There's many of different coaching consulting niches that you can go into if you have some kind of previous knowledge, previous experience, or you've helped other people in the past. And if that is the case, I think it's a great business model for you. With that being said, I see a lot of people jump into the coaching consulting business out of the gate that probably shouldn't be because they see a Facebook ad on how to become a 7-figure coach. What you need to realize is that most coaches and consultants don't make much money. Now, that's not to say because they're a terrible coach or they're not good at what they do. It's because of the fact that they're terrible at marketing and they don't put a focus on learning sales. So what you got to get is that it's a very competitive industry, and if you don't focus on sales and marketing and learning some of the advanced skills, you're not going to be able to compete. Alright, so at this point, let's talk about if coaching is right for you. So there are a few key traits here that will let you know if it might be a good fit for you. So number 1 is you have a skill or knowledge that people are already paying other people to learn. You probably love sales and marketing and you're constantly spending time improving your skills to get better. You probably love people and have patience to deal with different personality types, because keep in mind there will be some different personality types that will stress you out from time to time. You are a problem solver and enjoy helping people solve their problems. You already have an audience or establishing an audience in a niche industry. Now, keep in mind this isn't necessary, but it does help in order to, get the ball rolling. Now, here's a few key traits to know if coaching is possibly not a good fit for you. So number 1 is you don't enjoy dealing with people and you have very little patience, or I should say probably tolerance, to deal with different personality types. you do not enjoy sales and marketing, and you do not spend time learning to master marketing to get better, and you prefer to have more of a lifestyle business that doesn't require you to talk to many people or have any type of big commitments. If your only reason for starting a coaching business is because of the fact that you heard you can make big ticket commissions, then I can almost guarantee you will not do well with this business model. The other reason is that when you are only focused on making money, it's very easy for your customers to see that that's all you care about, and I can guarantee you'll end up burning out very, very fast. I've also seen people come to this industry with literally zero experience or knowledge and expect somebody to pay them premium prices just because some coach told them you can charge people premium prices. And this doesn't make any logical sense because of the fact that they don't have the knowledge, expertise, or the ability to deliver something that's worth that kind of price tag. Now, in order to succeed in this industry, you really need to love helping people. It needs to be really your number one focus. You also need to be obsessed with marketing and getting better because it's an extremely competitive industry. And in the early stages, you need to be focusing on getting your clients results so you can later leverage those in order to be able to grow your coaching business in the future. All right, so the second online business that you can start is selling information products or digital courses. Now, this business model is very similar to coaching consulting, where you basically really need some prior experience or knowledge in order to pull it off successfully. With that being said, the upsides to this business model are huge. Okay, for the example of digital courses, I'm going to stick with Facebook ads that we talked about previously, but I want you to keep in mind that you literally can sell digital courses in thousands of industries outside of marketing and business, and in fact, it's 10 times easier because of the fact that people that are outside of marketing don't understand marketing, so the little things that you learn in the marketing niche are extremely powerful when you get outside of selling to people that are interested in business. So keep in mind, as long as people have the desire to learn something and they're already spending money to buy products in that industry, you usually can make a lot of money doing it. Okay, so to continue with our Facebook ads example, selling a digital course for Facebook ads is extremely scalable and you have massive leverage. You can make more money selling one-to-one or selling a group coaching program, but you have scalability where you can sell 24/7, 365 to unlimited amounts of people when you sell your own digital course. So with the digital course, instead of doing the whole group coaching setting where you're answering people's questions, you're interacting with them live and helping them individually, what you would do is you would pre-record some videos. Some people like to basically do, digital PDFs, whatever works best for you can work. But basically you just make some videos, you put them in a membership site so they're all pre-recorded and you've already done all the work. You can sell that course literally while you're sleeping or anytime you're traveling, no matter what you're doing. And then your customer has the advantage to go in and study it on their own time. So think of it kind of like college, but the difference is, they're doing home study courses where they just do the work when they can actually do it. The advantage to this is scalability. Now, one thing I would suggest if you actually do this is to create some kind of Facebook group for support where people can ask basic questions, but it's not going to be like a group coaching setting where you're going to have live calls and answer their questions and go through everything with them. All right, so let's talk about the pros to selling your own online course. So number one is it's fairly easy to learn the skills needed to build and set up your course. It's also very scalable because you're not limited to how many copies you can sell. It can be a very profitable business with huge margins if you do it right. And most importantly, you get to leverage your time and make more money without working yourself to death. The one thing to keep in mind when you get into selling digital courses online is that some industries are vastly more profitable selling digital courses because they're already conditioned to do so. So if you end up picking a niche that you're really passionate about, but that industry is not conditioned to buy digital products, you can end up spending a lot of your time and energy creating a product and nobody wants to buy it. All right, so let's talk about the cons of selling your own online course. So number one is you need to love marketing because competition is fierce where there's lots of money to be made. The next thing is you'll need to create and make updates to your course. So keep in mind this can be a lot of work up front. The next thing is you need to know basic tech or to hire someone to help you set everything up. And finally, customer support can be a headache. So what I would really suggest doing is hiring this out because it's not something you truly want to deal with. Trust me on this one. Selling information courses is a multi-billion-dollar industry. With that being said, if you don't get good at sales and marketing, you're going to have a hard time going out there and marketing your product. You're also going to need to start building an audience. And by building an audience, I mean creating free content, delivering lots of value up front to build trust. Because if you don't do this, I guarantee your competitors are. You're not going to be able to compete if you're just trying to sell your course. All right, so let's talk about if selling courses is a great business for you to start. So these are a few of the key traits that'll let you know if selling courses is good for you. Number one is you like teaching and helping people. The next one is you already have experience with creating content and you enjoy doing it. The next one is you're good at explaining complex concepts and breaking things down into logical steps so your customers can follow them. And then finally, you love marketing and sales because this is going to be absolutely important. So these are a few of the key traits that mean that it might not be a good fit for you. So number one is you don't like teaching and helping people. The next one is you don't already have experience with creating content. Now, this one's not going to stop you, but you got to understand there will be a learning curve because you're going to have to, create content, upload it into membership sites and whatnot. The next one is you're a perfectionist and everything needs to be perfect. I've literally seen people spend 6 months creating their course trying to make it perfect, and they literally could have been making money by day 30. The next one is you don't enjoy marketing and sales. And the final one I think is absolutely important because this is something you got to prepare for, but you're worried about being judged. So regardless what industry you create a course, I guarantee you someone's going to call you a scammer just because of the fact that you're selling information. Creating courses is an amazing business. With that being said, if you've never made sales online and you have very little marketing experience, this is not the business model I would suggest to start out with. To sell courses as a full-time business model, you're going to actively need to be creating lots of free content to build your audience and delivering massive amounts of value. Most people think they're going to get into this business model and just set up a Facebook ad, run, traffic to their actual course, and lots of people are going to buy. The problem with this is the fact that people don't know, like, and trust you. It is possible you can get some conversions, but your conversions are going to be extremely low. If you still want to pursue this business model, I highly suggest that you learn to master marketing. Become obsessed with it because it's going to be necessary. I also would be putting a strong focus on creating lots of valuable content to build your audience, build trust, and you should also prepare yourself for a bit of a learning curve in order to get everything dialed in. If you're a complete beginner, one of the next business models I suggest might actually be a better fit. Okay, so the next online business that you can start is affiliate marketing. Now, this is one of my favorite business models, but I'm going to leave my unbiased opinion out of it here because it's not for everyone. When people come to me and say, Zach, what's the best business model to start? My advice is always to start with digital products. And the reason being is there's very little stress, it's very scalable, and the fact that the profit margins are huge. One of the biggest questions I get over and over again is, Zach, if you started all over from scratch, what would you do? And it would be the same exact thing I did. After all the failed businesses, all the successful businesses, making all the money, losing all the money, and learning about how business works, I would do the exact same thing I did before. I would start with affiliate marketing to really learn the ropes of marketing, learn to master sales, get really good at marketing. You notice I keep saying that over and over again. And then from there, I would move over to actually creating my own products to increase my income. But with that being said, every business model has its pros and cons. So just to clarify what affiliate marketing is, it's simply just referral marketing. Basically, when you refer somebody to a product and they buy through your individual link, you get a commission. So if we go back to our Facebook ads example, basically what you could do is go out there and find somebody with a really excellent Facebook ads course. And you could go out there and create some content around Facebook ads explaining, how it can help you build your business, why it will help you get your message out to the world, whatever you want to do, right? And then you link to that product for Facebook ads with your affiliate link. When somebody purchases through that link, you get paid. So to sum things up, you're essentially the middleman. All you're doing is helping people solve their problems or fulfill a need that they're looking to solve. All right, so let's talk about the pros and cons of affiliate marketing, because with any business model you get into, there's both pros and cons. So with affiliate marketing, the one thing I love about it is it's very little stress compared to most of my other business models, and I do several of the ones I'm sharing with you in this video. It causes me the least stress. It's pretty much no stress at all. Now, my favorite is no customer support. Now, that's not to say that I don't like my customers. With that being said, when you get a bad customer and they are not easy to deal with, it can really make your life stressful. And in a lot of these businesses, in the early stages, you will be dealing with customer support yourself. You're probably not going to have the money to outsource something like that right out of the gate. Now, another great thing is no fulfillment for any products. So depending on which business we're talking about, say example like physical products are going to have more things like you need to stock inventory in a warehouse. You need to actually fulfill those orders. Compared to with affiliate marketing, there is no fulfillment. Literally, you're just recommending products, and when somebody buys, the vendor is responsible for all that. So this goes back to the very little stress part. Now, the other thing I like about it is it's very easy to get started. So that's why I recommend it to a lot of people just getting started. You can scale this to a 6 or 7 figure business, but I think it's one of the best business models to get started with, just because a lot of people have a small budget when they get started. I can relate to that. When I first got started, I was massively in debt, so I was beyond the broke point. So it made it much easier for me to get going compared to some of the other businesses I would have had to have, several $1,000s to get going. The other thing is great is it's very scalable and you can make good money when done right. I've made over $1 million alone in just commissions from promoting people's, proven products, as I call it. So it is very scalable. It's not something it's just going to be a small business. It's something if you actually learn how to do it properly, you can make really, really good money with it. Now, there's also cons of affiliate marketing, right? I don't want to sit here and tell you like it's the best business model in the world, because I don't think there is such thing. I think every single business model has good and have bad. So some of the cons is you don't own the product, so you can't control what the product owner does. I can tell you in the past, some of the things that I haven't liked about affiliate marketing is, there's a product I really love, I'm promoting it, and then for whatever reason, the business owner decides to change things, go in a different direction, or do some things I don't agree with. I literally don't have a say-so in it. It's choose to keep promoting it or find a new product. The other thing is, if you do affiliate marketing how most people do it, which is just really linking to the product, then you never really build an asset, and your income will be up and down. So what I mean by this is people that basically just build a website and link to the product, or they do a YouTube video and link to the product, they're not really building a real asset, which is an email list, right? It's actually traffic you control, it's an audience you control. They're really just focusing on what I call arbitrage, which is basically just getting sales, and a lot of times when people are doing paid traffic, they're focusing on just making more than they spend, and this is not a real long-term business. Now, the other thing is, if you do what most people do, right? If you do the same thing most affiliates do and you don't build that email list and a personal brand, then you're really going to struggle with getting sales. This is the downside to affiliate marketing. A lot of people are trying to put in the least amount of effort and they want the biggest reward. And because of the fact that it has such a low learning curve to get into, a lot of people don't want to put in the extra effort to build it right. So that is some of the cons. If you don't do those things, it might not be the best business for you. All right, so at this point, let's talk about, is affiliate marketing right for you or your individual personality? So here's a few things to think about to decide if affiliate marketing is a good fit. So number one is you like the idea of a low stress business. You don't really want to deal with customer support. You don't want to deal with all the extra things that go into other business models. You like the idea of creating a lifestyle business that basically can allow you to be location independent, or specifically just be basically building a business around your life and not actually the other way around. The next thing is you're willing to create content online. This is pretty important, right? You can go out there and make money by just running paid ads, but you're going to have a hard time scaling your business, because anybody that's creating content, really honestly, anybody that's creating content in almost any of these business models is going to outproduce you. You also like the idea of learning marketing and sales. It's crucially important, honestly, in my opinion, to sell anything, regardless of what business model we're talking about, especially affiliate marketing. You need to learn marketing and sales to be good at it. Now, you're also open to creating a personal brand. This one is not 100% necessary. There's people that are making really good money in affiliate marketing. They're not using personal brands. They're using just like a brand. It's like not their name. But I do think that a personal brand is going to get better results. I can tell you personally myself, I've always got a better results by creating a personal brand, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Now, these are a few of the traits that you may know that it's not a good fit for you. So number one is you don't like marketing and sales. So if you're pretty much, you do not want to learn anything about marketing and sales, or you refuse to do so, I wouldn't suggest this business model for you. You're not willing to create content online. As I said, you can get sales by just running ads, but it's going to be a losing game. You're only going to get so far by just running ads, because somebody else can literally come in and copy you, and then it's pretty much game over. You would rather sell your own products. So some people, this won't be a good fit just because you don't really want to promote other people's stuff. You'd rather go down the process of learning to do your own thing. And then, of course, you are not willing to create a personal brand. As I said, it's not 100% necessary, but I think that if you want to get the best result, it's something you should highly consider. So if you're not really open to that, you might want to think differently, just because of the fact that the people creating personal brands are going to be able to outdo you. Now, affiliate marketing is one of my favorite business models I'm personally involved with. And the reason being is because of the fact that I get to promote proven products that are already out there selling, people are already spending their money on, and I do not have to create them. On top of that, it's very low stress, and that's why I love it. Now, to be successful with affiliate marketing, in my opinion, you can't do what you did 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you literally could just get your affiliate link, send traffic, and get sales. With more and more competition coming into the marketplace, with more people learning to build a business online with affiliate marketing, you got to be willing to do what other people are not willing to do. And that's creating a personal brand, creating an email list so you actually have an asset that you own, and basically adding more value to the marketplace. The reason I recommend this business model to anybody getting started online is because of the fact that you get to focus on learning sales and marketing. That's one of the most important aspects to make any business successful, and on top of it, you don't got to worry about creating your own products to get going. You will notice with every business that I'm talking about in this video, marketing is key. Marketing is what makes the business successful, and that's why most people are not successful. They just focus on the business model and they neglect the marketing, and that's why I think affiliate marketing is the best place to get started, is because you can focus on the marketing and then later think about actually creating your own product once you're successful. All right, so the next business model in our lineup is making money with selling physical products, and really there's two main options. Either you can do Amazon FBA or you can start your own Shopify store. The basics of Amazon FBA is simply you're getting products overseas, you're selling them on Amazon.com. Now, with that being said, some people do actually, source their products inside of the USA, but that gets a little bit more expensive. Regardless which option you choose, whether it be getting your products overseas or getting them in the USA, you still need to have them shipped to Amazon.com before you can actually list them in the marketplace. The important part to note here is if you want to pursue Amazon FBA, you're going to need a little bit more cash flow. You got to be able to order the products and have them shipped overseas, to Amazon. And so if you don't have a lot of cash flow to get started, you're probably better off starting with the Shopify store because there's a lower barrier to entry. Now, your second option for physical products is basically setting up your own Shopify store. This is essentially, your own self-hosted e-commerce store. And the basics of how this business model works is you're basically getting products overseas and you're drop shipping them directly to the customer. Now with Shopify, it's rather easy to get up and going. It's pretty beginner friendly, and the difference between Amazon FBA and Shopify is you're not going to sell your products on the Amazon marketplace. What you're going to do is really two options. Either one, you're going to run, Facebook ads in order to sell your products, or you're going to use something like Instagram and use influencer marketing. Now, to be completely transparent with you, I've done every single business model in this video, including Shopify. The only thing I have not done is Amazon FBA. So I don't have experience with Amazon, but I do have friends in both of those industries. I've done Shopify where I've sold t-shirts, I've done drop shipping products from Asia. But this is what I've come to the conclusion to talking to my friends. Shopify is going to be much easier to get going if you're a beginner because you need less cash flow. With that being said, Amazon FBA has higher profit margins. So if you want to do physical products, that's something to consider. All right, so let's talk about the pros to starting a physical products business. So number one is it's a rather easy business model to get started. Really all you need is startup capital. You don't need to show your face and no one needs to know who you are. So if this is big to you, this might be a benefit as to why to start this business model over some of the others. You can build this business up and flip it for a profit. So that's one of the big strong points to an e-commerce business is that you can flip them rather easy. So if you build a really great asset, you build systems, you document everything, it's something that you can flip later for, X amount of revenue. The other thing is possibility for niches and products are virtually unlimited. So that's one of the great things to a physical products business is you can pretty much go into anything and everything. Now, with the physical products business, there's cons as well, just like all the other business models. Number one is smaller profit margins, which is the huge one for me. So, compared to digital products, like you're talking in some cases as low as 10% for physical products. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is it's very easy for competitors to knock you off and charge cheaper prices. Now, this is specific more to drop shipping, where you're not getting, 100% original product created. In some cases, even Amazon FBA, if you're just getting the products shipped to a warehouse and it's something your competitors can do as well, it makes it easier for people to knock you off. If you're manufacturing your own products, you don't really got to worry about this as much. The other thing is it can have high startup cost if you're doing Amazon FBA. So depending on what product you're picking, what niche you're going into, you're going to need startup capital, obviously. Now, something you need to consider is if you're doing drop shipping with like Shopify or you're selling low quality products and charging a premium price, this can cause lots of refunds and complaints. When I was doing Shopify, this was something that I ran into, is that basically I was charging a premium price and you're selling a cheaper product, and there was lots of refunds and customer complaints. Now, another thing is if you are doing drop shipping, another thing you got to consider is it can take up to 45 days to reach your customers, which can also create lots of complaints. So if you do Shopify, make sure you verify with the vendors of how long it's going to take to get there on average, because this can be something to think about. And the last thing is you have to stock inventory often if you're doing something like Amazon FBA. So if you don't really, balance your cash flow really carefully, you don't watch your numbers, this can run into inventory problems, which basically, stops your business until you can get more inventory to the warehouse. All right, so let's talk about if a physical product business is a good fit for your personality. So it might be a good fit if you don't ever want to show your face on the internet. I come across a lot of people, they don't want their name on the internet. They don't want to show their face. They don't want nothing to do with the personal brand. If this is you, it's probably a great fit. You don't like the idea of selling digital products. Some people just don't see the vision behind digital products. If they can't physically hold the product, they just don't really feel like it's a real business. You like the idea of selling basically tangible products, right? A physical product you can hold in your hand. You like this idea of this business model better than digital. You like the idea of getting on the phone and talking with distributors and manufacturers. So this is something you need to heavily consider. And it may not just be on the phone. Sometimes you can talk on Messenger and chat. But the point is you're going to be dealing with your distributors and manufacturers a lot. Inventory flow, negotiating prices on the product, getting better, numbers as far as if you can move volume. These are all things that you really need to consider and to take into play before starting this business. Now, you like the idea of building a business that you can sell and flip. So if you really like that idea of building up an asset and then flipping it for, say 12 months ROI or 24 months ROI, this is a really good business model to do that with. Now, another one that a lot of people don't consider going into, but this is something that you need to think about, is that you're okay with managing a team and managing people. You're going to need to be able to be, patient and be able to deal with different personality types, because this is a business model that it's going to be tough to run on your own. When you're scaling this and spending thousands of dollars on ads and selling hundreds of products a day, it's going to be pretty tough to place all the orders yourself, make sure your inventory is right, answering customer support tickets. Like, it's absolutely going to be needed to run a team in order to pull this off successfully. Now, here's a few key traits that it may not be a good fit for your personality to start this business. So number one is you're not good at dealing with people. As we just talked about, you need to be patient. You need to be able to deal with different personality types. That's your employees, your manufacturers. You're going to be dealing with lots of different people. So if you're not a people person, this one may not be good for you. You hate dealing with numbers. This business is heavily based on running ads, dealing with inventory, and you also need to keep an eye on your profit margins to make sure that everything is going well. Another thing is you don't like the idea of building and managing a team. If you are not good at management, or you just don't like the idea of thinking you're going to need to manage several people, this is probably not a great fit. And then the last one is you prefer a lifestyle business with very little stress. So if you're more like you want to travel the world, you don't want to be having to constantly look over things, this is a business model that acquires a lot of attention, in my opinion, to constantly pay attention to your numbers, make sure your employees are getting things done properly. And so if you're more of the lifestyle business type, this is probably not the best business model to start. Now, I'm going to try to keep my opinion as least biased as possible, but as I mentioned before, I'm not an e-commerce guy. With that being said, I think e-commerce is great if you actually manufacture your own products. Now, personally for me, what I didn't like about Shopify when I was actually doing this business model is the fact that I was getting these low quality products from Asia and charging premium prices for them. Now, what I did when I ran my Shopify store is every single product I actually sold, I wanted the customer perspective. So what I did is I ordered a copy myself, and what I can tell you is I personally would have not paid $2, let alone the $30 that most people were charging. Another thing I found really, disappointing was the fact that a lot of these products were taking 30, 45 days, and in fact, one of the products I ordered even took 2 months in order to receive it. Another issue you want to consider when actually going into this business model is finding good suppliers. All it takes is one good Facebook ad to literally blow up your business. With that being said, if you get a supplier that can't deliver, this can create a lot of problems. My final issue that I had with this business model when I was doing it is the profit margins. This is what nobody talks about. You see tons of people talking about how they're making $1 million a year, but they don't share with you they're only making 10 to 30% margins. And 30% is if you're amazing. That's if you're good with ads, nobody rips you off, and you've really just dialed things in. For the most part, this business model is very easy for somebody to literally come in, rip off your product, run your same ad, and then it's just a race to the bottom of who will charge cheaper. Now, I have a personal friend and old student who literally has made millions in the Shopify industry, and he agrees with everything I just told you. Now, what he did to rectify this situation is he went out there and manufactured his own products, and he makes sure he gets top-notch suppliers so that way his customers are getting good quality products and they're getting their products on time. Another thing my friend did to make sure people couldn't rip him off is build a brand and an email list so that way he has a customer database. So whenever he sells a new product, he literally already has people that resonate with his brand, and he has built-in customers that he can advertise to. This is exactly what I would do if I was going to go into the e-com industry, which I do plan to build my own t-shirt brand in the future. I would focus on building quality products, amazing customer support so my customers want to buy from me again, and I would focus on creating products that people can't just rip off very, very easy and make it a race to the bottom so that way I can't compete. All right, so the final business model is offering freelance marketing services. And really the basics of this business model is just offering some type of marketing service to other online business owners. And what's great about this business model is it allows you to be location independent. Okay, so a perfect example of this business model would be you're really good with Instagram marketing. So you would be managing people's Instagram accounts, helping them grow their following and engage their community. All right, so let's talk about the pros of starting a freelance business. So number one is it allows you to learn to master a skill that you could later apply to your own business. So this is one of the great things about it. You can learn a skill that you can later transfer over into whatever business you want to go into. Now the next one is it allows you to really start making money pretty fast by learning the skill and finding a client in about 30 days. You know, me personally, it didn't even take that long. I pretty much started freelancing years ago and got a client rather quickly. You can set up your own hours and work from anywhere. So this is a big career choice, I should say, a lot for the digital nomads and people that want to be basically location independent. So it's probably one of the quickest paths if you're, onto that type of lifestyle. Now, there are cons to freelancing, I can tell you. Number one is you can quit your day job, but the downside is you've essentially just started another job, so you're still going to have a boss. It's very hard to scale because it's your personal time. At the end of the day, you can only take on so many clients that you're doing the work for them, so it's not very scalable. Now, one of the bad things is there's absolutely nothing worse than a pain in the ass client who can make your life hell. So if you get a client that's a pain in the butt, it can be more miserable than almost even having a job. The other thing is it's very easy to get comfortable and not branch out and do your own thing. So I can tell you from personal experience, once you have decent money coming in, at that point it's kind of hard to pursue the whole entrepreneur thing because you don't want to lose the money that you already have paying for your lifestyle. All right, so let's talk about if freelancing is a good fit for you. So here's a few of the key traits to look for. So number one, you already have a skill or you want to learn a new skill that people would pay you for. The next one is you prefer to do the work and just get paid over pursuing your own path as an entrepreneur, so you don't really want to take the risks, so to speak. You're more introverted and you don't want to be a face or a brand. So if you don't want anything to do with the personal brand, you don't really want to put yourself out there, this is a great fit. Now, you do not want to learn sales and marketing. You have no desire to learn how to be good at sales. This would probably be a great fit for you. The final one is you don't care about getting rich. You just want to kill your day job. So if you're more just the type of person that, wants to be location independent, you just want to do your own thing and not be, chained to an office, this is probably one of the best paths that you can take. Now, the next one is if freelancing is not for you, and let's talk about a few of those key traits. So your goal is to make the type of money that really gives you, time and financial freedom. So if you want to be on your own, path, you want to do your own thing, you want to make the type of money that allows you to go anywhere, do what you want, this is not a great fit because you are going to be capped on how much you can make. You don't like taking orders or having someone tell you what to do or when to do it. What I'll let you know from personally doing it myself in the past, it's a job. There's no other way of putting it. The only difference is you're not physically chained to a location. You're not chained to an office. You can be in Thailand, the Philippines, South America. It doesn't really matter as long as you get the work done. But if you don't like taking orders from someone, you still have a boss any way you look at it. Even though you're a freelancer, you still have a boss. The next thing is you're not organized and you're bad at finishing projects on timely deadlines. Now, I can tell you from my personal experience of hiring lots of people at this point in my career, there's nothing more annoying than somebody that's not self-disciplined, somebody that needs me to constantly tell them what to do all the time, and they need me to always pat them on the back and give them every little order. If you're not somebody who's self-disciplined, you're not somebody who can get the basics of what you need to do and get to work, this probably won't be a good fit for you because, as I said, they're still your boss. Maybe they're a short-term boss, but when you don't take things seriously, if you try to basically travel 24/7 and live the laptop lifestyle and you're not getting the work done, a lot of people are not going to tolerate that. So this is something to consider if you're not very organized. Freelancing is a great way to develop your skills and learn from other entrepreneurs, but it's essentially another job, and I know this from personal experience. I got really good with search engine optimization by doing it for clients, but I started to really hate the whole business of doing search engine optimization because I killed my old job and essentially bought myself a new one. The real downside to this business model is the fact that you can get pain in the ass clients that literally can make your life hell. And so what happens is you have to constantly keep replacing your clients, which can obviously be pretty stressful because you can be living on the edge from month to month. The real upside to this business model is the fact that you can really get success rather quickly. It's not hard to find clients and it allows you to be location independent. So what you can do is buy back a little bit of your time from having to actually go into an office and work for somebody. My advice for you here is if you want to be a freelancer, if you like the idea of being able to be location independent and being able to basically get out of the day job that you have currently, is pick skills that you later can transition into your own thing. Like what I did from day one is pick skills that I wanted to master, pick skills I knew that I could use in my own business when I went full time. And that's what I focused on doing. I didn't pick skills that are just random so I could get paid. So if you're going to go into this business model, make sure you're thinking long term. Make sure you're thinking of where you want to go in the future so you can make that transition from being an employee to a real entrepreneur. So to summarize the key points from this whole video, what you want to do is not just pick a business model because some guru tells you to do it. You want to pick a business model that you can see yourself doing over a long term and being very, very consistent in order to master the skills. What you want to realize is every business has both pros and cons. There's no such thing as a business model that's perfect and has no stress because every single business model is going to have stress. So you want to pick something that you really like the idea of, it aligns with your goals and your personality type. You also want to pick a business model that you're committed to mastering. You know, most people are what I call dabblers. They're dabbling in a little bit of everything and they never really focus on mastering anything. And if you want to make the big bucks, you got to commit to mastery. All right, so that's a wrap. What I'd like you to do is let me know in the comments section, which business model do you plan to start? Or if you already have a business model, I'd be curious, what are you currently doing now? Comment below. Now, the final thing is, if you got value from this video, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when I drop new videos. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.